Hey guitar friends, welcome to All About Guitar Academy. If you want to rock on guitar, you came to the right video, you came to the right place. My name is Bob Strom, and today I'm going to show you 5 easy to learn guitar riffs for classic rock like Ted Nugent, Sammy Hagar, Aerosmith, ZZ Top, and Def Leppard, and that's coming right up. So grab your guitar, make sure you're in standard E tuning, and let's get ready to rock. Welcome back, guitar friends. So we're going to focus on classic rock riffs today. I'm going to give you 5 riffs. And you heard the opening riff was Cat Scratch Fever, little stranglehold there too. But today we're going to focus on Cat Scratch Fever, a very easy riff to learn. I'm going to show you step by step how to play the beginning riff and just a little bit of the song as well. So basically what we're doing there on Cat Scratch Fever by Ted Nugent, we're starting with an A5. All right, I'm going to put the chords up here for you, but if you've done some of my other lessons on rock guitar, you'll be very familiar with these chords. We're not covering anything really new today. We're using some of the same guitar power chords that we've used in other videos. So you want to know your A5. And I've got my amp settings here. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you on my Black Star. This is what I'm using today to play most of these riffs. Black Star's got this amazing little 10-watt practice amp. I highly recommend it. If you're interested in it, check it out in the description. I've got a paid link for that. But anyway, that's what we're going to be using today. And I'm mainly going to be using my Gibson Les Pauls to demonstrate. So let's jump right into Cat Scratch Fever. All right, so we're going to start this riff with the A5 power chord. There is a bend at the beginning of the song that sounds like this. And I'll show you how to do that when we get done with the main riff. I'm trying to keep this really simple today. So we're going to start with the A5. And I like to use finger 1 and 3, but I'm going to start with this with finger 1 because I know I've got a lot of brand new beginner guitar players watching this video, and I've also got a lot of guitarists that are my age and older, and sometimes it's hard to coordinate between different fingers if we have injuries and stuff. So I'm just trying to be simple and respectful. So let's start with finger number 1. We're going to slide up from here on the 2nd fret to fret number 4. Same chord shape. All right, and then we're going to slide up to fret number 5, same chord shape. So I'll do that again. And what Ted's doing in this song is he's doing what we call a bend, okay? So to add some vibrato and some sustain to the chord, but I'll get to that in a minute. But let's just practice this little riff here from the A5 with finger number 1. All right, I'll do that again. Okay, now we're going to go back down to the A5. Okay, so practice that with finger number 1. Once you have that down, let's move to using finger number 3. So I'll demonstrate with that. And you'll notice I'm playing the open A string when I start the riff, and I'm using palm muting a lot during this song to add a little bit of a bass, a low end to the A5 power chord. I'll demonstrate again using finger 1 and 3. All right, did you hear that open A? All right, and that takes a little bit of practice. It's a rhythm technique, but that adds a little more power to the riff. Now, the next thing we're going to do, the next part of that riff, we're going to play our open E, which is string number 6. And we're going to play string number 6, fret number 3, which is a G note. Then we're going to go up a half a step with finger number 3. And then we go back into the riff. I'll demonstrate. Did you catch that? I'm also palm muting again when I do that little riff there with the open E string. And if you're not able to do that right now, just keep practicing. Eventually you'll be able to do it. So let's do that riff one more time using finger 1 and finger 3. All right, let's look at the next part of the song. We're doing something like this with finger 1 and finger 3, or you can use your pinky. I like to use my finger number 3 just because it's a stronger finger for me. So the riff goes like this. All right, so I'll back up. What we're doing there, we're doing the A5 power chord, and then we're coming up here with finger number 3 on fret number 5, same chord shape, and adding a little rhythm to it. So it goes like this. I'll do that again. Then we're going to do that little lick that we did before with the open E, but we're going to do it with an open A. I'll do that again. So here's the riff again. And you'll notice I'm palm muting most of the time on this part. One more time. Now we're going to go to that G note. And while we're there on the G note on string 6 fret 3, we're going to create this G5 power chord that we learned in the AC/DC video. Then we're going to go to a D5 and then back to the A5. Okay, so let's do that riff one more time. Then we go back into the cat scratch fever riff. Now I told you I would show you this little bend that starts the song, and you also hear it throughout the song. It sounds like this. All right, what are we doing there? I'm simply taking finger number 3 on fret number 5 of string number 2, and finger number 2 is going to be right here on fret number 4 of string number 3. Now, this takes a little bit of practice, but what we're going to do is bend the string up towards me on string number 3. I'm going to bend it up towards me while I'm holding down the string number 2 on fret number 5. So it sounds like this. I'm just bending it a little bit up towards me. I know this takes some practice, but you can do it if you keep practicing it. Let's do that again. So it goes kind of like this. All right, let's go to the next riff. All right, how about a little bit of Def Leppard from their High and Dry album, Let It Go. What a awesome album, guitar record, and I highly recommend you get that if you don't have it. And the very first track on the album is Let It Go. And we're going to take some of the stuff we just learned here from Uncle Ted on Cat Scratch Fever, and we're going to apply that to this song, Let It Go. So the opening riff sounds like this. And of course I'm doing this very slow, so I'll do that again. All right, and you also notice that sometimes I bend up and sometimes I bend the strings down. And that's fine. You do whatever whatever works best for you. But we're going to do a little bend here, and this is what takes a little bit of practice. As you get better at guitar on your guitar journey, you're going to learn how to do these bends, and they are critical for rock guitar, so you want to practice them. Okay, so the opening riff sounds like this. And what we're doing there, we're playing that A5 power chord, doing a bend here and a hammer on. So basically from the A5, we're going to take finger number 2 and we're going to put it down on fret number 3 of string 5 on that C note, and then we're going to bend just slightly down towards the floor and then go back to the A5 like this. Practice that. You want to practice that because that little technique there is used in so many classic rock and other songs out there. So you want to practice that little opening riff there. All right, A5. Now we're going to use what we learned in Cat Scratch Fever with finger number 3. We're going to bring that back up here to fret number 4, same chord shape, but we're going to do a bend on this power chord shape here. So I'll show you what I mean. All right, and this might take some practice as well if you're brand new at guitar. But what you want to do, you can bend down towards the floor or up towards your face. But we're going to take that power chord here from the A5, and this is basically, it's a smaller version of a B5 power chord, which sounds like this. We're just using those 2 strings instead of making the power chord like that. So let me demonstrate again. That is just 2 open strings here, string 3 and string 4. All right, so I'm going to demonstrate that again, really slow. So I'm just going back to the open strings. Here's the whole riff again. Okay, from there we're going to bring that same chord shape, that A5, up here to fret number 5 and fret number 7. And I'll show you what I mean. And again, I'm using palm muting to muffle string number 5, the open A string, to add some rhythm to it. I'm going to do that one more time so you can see what I'm doing. I'll do it really slow. All right, did you catch that? That is Let It Go. Now, if we go further into the riff, there's a part that goes like this. All right, and what we're doing here, we're starting with the C note here on string 5, down a half step to the B note on string number 5. So open A, and then the G note, and then over here to fret number 2 of string number 3, which is an A note. So I'll demonstrate that again. And again, we're using some palm muting there, so I'm going to do the entire riff. All right, and then we go to the... All right, there's a lot more to this song, some really good lead guitar parts and all that, but that is the main riff to Let It Go. Let's look at the next riff. right, Heavy Metal by Sammy Hagar. We're going to be using the A5 power chord and the D5 power chord. We're also going to be using E5, G5, and a D5 played higher up on the fretboard. And we've also got some hammer-ons and pull-offs going on. So let's put it all together. Let's start with the opening riff. All right, so what we're doing, we're starting the song on the G note, which is string number 6, fret number 3, and we're going to do a pull off there and play the open E, and then go to the C note and open A, the same type of a thing. But he plays it pretty fast. I'm going to do it really slow for you here. I'll do that again. And then I'm also doing some alternate picking with that. Now this part's going to take some practice if you're brand new to guitar. So, don't feel bad if you're not getting it right away. It's the hardest part of the song, really. But let's do that opening riff again. That's an A5. Then we go to a D5. Now the second time we do the hammer-ons and pull-offs, we're going to start with the open E string. So we're going to do the same riff, but instead of starting with the G note, we're going to start with the open E. So it's really good to practice your hammer-ons and your pull-offs. The more you practice it, the better you're going to get at it. But let's do the opening riff again. Okay, from that riff, we're eventually going to end up on an E major or an E5 power chord. I'll show you what I mean. Then we're going to go to a G5. We're going to strum down 4 times. Just a simple G5 power chord. And then we're going to go up to a D5 power chord here on fret number 5, string 5 is our root note. So I'll demonstrate that again. Then we're back to the A5 and back into the riff. This one will take a little bit of practice, my friend, but once you have it down, you'll be amazing all of your friends and having fun jamming heavy metal with Sammy Hagar. So let's take a look at the next riff. All right, how about some Aerosmith, Sweet Emotion? Okay, the beginning of this song starts out with a talk box, a little bit of rhythm guitar, and mostly bass. So I'm going to skip that part, but the intro is really, really cool, the Sweet Emotion. But it sounds much better if you have a talk box. And it's going something like this on the bass line. Similar to that. But once we get into the main part of the song, the very beginning riff, we're going to be using that good old D5 and the A5 power chord again. And we're going to be taking what we learned in heavy metal, applying it to this riff as well, but we're going to be doing it a little bit different on string 5 and 6. So I'll demonstrate. Here's how the opening part of the song goes. Okay, so if you're following along, I was doing that really slow. We're going D5 to A5, and then this little riff here. So what we're doing is we're starting with that C note, string number 5, fret 3, and we're pulling off, playing the open A string, G note, and then back to the open A, back to the G note. And we're also doing alternate picking again. I highly recommend doing it that way. You don't have to, but it's very good for your muscle memory, and it also makes it sound pretty cool. So let's start the riff again. We're going to start in D5 to A5 and then the riff. Okay, next part of the riff, we're going to be using finger number 3 up here on fret 5 of string 5, and we're going to do a little down step, a whole step down to the C note with our index finger, finger 1, so it's... And then we're going to play string 6, fret number 5, which is an A note. So again, I'll demonstrate. And again, I'm alternate picking with my picking hand. Then we're going to do the open E string from E to the fret number 2 of string 6. So open E to fret 2. And we're going to hit that string 2 times. So we're going to hit each note 2 times with our pick, starting with the open E. We're going to play that 1 time and then play fret number 2 2 times. I'll demonstrate really slow. And on that 4th time, we're going to just play each note 1 time, starting with the G note. So let's do the entire riff from the beginning part again. Then we go back into the main part of the riff again. I'm playing it slower though than the band plays it, just so you can pick this up. So key points here to practice are your hammer-ons and pull-offs here on string 5 and 6, and also the riff here that goes like this. Now the second time, or later when we use that second riff, we're going to play that 8 times through, and then it goes back into the same thing we're doing at the very beginning with the talk box and the bass guitar. All right, so let me demonstrate one more time. We're going to start with D5 to A5. So at the end of the song, there's a really cool change there where we go to an E5. I'm not going to get into that. We'll save that for another lesson. And that's where the lead guitar really starts to rock. So I hope you learned the entire song, and stay tuned. I will have a full-length video on Sweet Emotion eventually. Let's look at our last riff. It's going to be by ZZ Top. Okay, ZZ Top, the Reverend Billy G. This has just got paid by ZZ Top, and this is probably going to be our toughest lick of this video. Maybe, maybe not. Depends. You might already know it. But the toughest part about this lick is that we're going to be doing palm muting. We're going to be doing some hammer-ons and pull-offs, and we're also going to be going back and forth from each string to add some really killer bluesy rock rhythm. That's the amazing thing about Billy Gibbons' guitar riffs. They are so phenomenal, and they're so bluesy and rock, and I don't know how to explain it. He's a master. So a lot of his songs are not very easy to play, including this one, but I think you're going to be able to pick this up if you follow along. So here's how the riff starts out. Now I'm going to slow it down for you here. Again, we're doing alternate picking. Highly recommend you work on that if you're still struggling with it, but that's just simply down, up, or up, down. Really doesn't matter to me how you do it as long as you're alternating your pick up and down. So we're going to start on this note right here, string number 5, fret number 5, which is our D note. And we're going to hammer on from this D note up to the E note on a whole step up. And we're going to use our open E string 6, to add that extra power to the riff, the extra bassy sound. So let's practice that little part here from the D note to the E note and the open E. Now what I want you to do is start palm muting that E. So again, we're going to do that same thing again. We're going to palm mute the open E. See how we're stopping the note from ringing out? And that takes some practice. I'm just using my palm, placing it down here by the bridge. All right, so the next part of the riff, what note is that here? We are coming over here to string number 4, fret number 5. So then we're going back to our E note here. So I'll demonstrate again. So now we're going down here. We're playing some of the same notes, but we're going to bring it down here, because that's going to add that really killer blues hammer-on pull-off on the G note here. I'll demonstrate again. So we're coming down here to fret number 2, string number 4. And then we're going to hammer on fret number 3 of string 6. We're going to pull that off to the open E. So that was cool. So we're going to do that again. Let's try that again from the beginning, really slow. Just like that. So now we want to practice going a little bit faster than that, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so what I'm doing here on this high note, and he's doing this with a slide, but I'm not doing it with a slide today. I'm keeping this simple as I can. We're going to come up here to this note right here on fret number 12, string number 2, and play that, and then it goes back into the riff again. So I'm going to do the whole thing. Okay, and that repeats several times. There is also a hammer-on pull-off part where we do this. I'll show you what I mean. All right, and that just takes some practice. Then we've got another part of the song using power chords E5 and D5 and A5. I'll show you what I mean. All right, that's just simply E5, D5, and A5 here. All right, I hope you learned the rest of this song. It's an awesome ZZ Top tune, and we'll be doing some slide guitar stuff and some other videos on ZZ Top soon. But stay tuned for the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel for more rock videos. And I hope to see you at allaboutguitaracademy.com, where you can take your fast track guitar course, learn how to play guitar in as little as 6 weeks or less. Hope to see you there. Keep on rocking.